the last time we'll speak with you. Throughout how long? But I guess what are the emotions now that the fight's over and you are at the end of your career?
Hasn't really settled in. I mean, I'm just kind of like trying to take it all in and just thanking everyone around me for helping me get to where I am today.
Is there any sense of relief that, like, obviously you were focused on the fight, but all the talk leading up was like retirement, what are you going to do next, what are you going to do next? And now the fight's over and you can just finally let everything just kind of settle in your mind and everything.
Yeah, I don't know because I've never been in this position before. I mean, it's the unknown to me, so it's definitely weird, and I'll figure it out.
And what did you think of the video tribute? We've never really seen that in MMA. A lot of people online are saying this is one of the better retirement moments we've ever had in the entire sport, not just the UFC.
It's an honor and a pleasure to freaking see that. I mean, the UFC and Dana did a great job of honoring me. The fans did a great job of honoring me and my career and everything I've given to the sport, and it's happy that everyone's embracing what I've tried to do, and I always try to go out there and knock people out and fight, and I always enjoyed it, and it's just a long, crazy career, and I've always loved MMA, and I guess that's why I've been able to do it for so long.
Well, looking at the actual fight, could it have played out more perfectly for you? First round knockout?
Yeah, no, it's definitely you want to get in there and get out if you can. It was like what makes this retirement pretty easy for me is because this is the first day I actually felt good during this whole camp. So it's like, okay, like, but that's really what you want, though. It's like try to figure out to be a way to be really good on one day at your best, and I was able to do that today.
What was going on in camp that you didn't feel that great?
I mean, stuff doesn't work like it used to, but obviously it does here and there. So like there was flashes, and you like use those flashes to be like, okay, there it is. Okay, can we keep that going for the rest of the camp? But then it's just like up and down. Like it's just hard to recover, and it's hard to push yourself the way I'm used to pushing myself and doing the extra. It's hard. I can't do extra, but now that I'm retired, I can do that extra, and I can torture myself and enjoy that because I don't have to recover for anything.
And the one final one for me, when you entered the cage, you kind of paused and looked around, and it looked like you were soaking in the moment. And then at the end, when the fight was over, you went down on one knee and put your head down. What was going through your mind in those two moments?
The first one was just enjoying the moment and embracing the fans and looking around and just taking a moment to like see it all and feel it all and knowing that this could be the last, and it is the last. And after the fight, I took a knee, and I was trying to look at my career and just being grateful for this moment and everything that's happening, and just being grateful and thankful for it, and just gratitude was what I was embracing.
Hey, Robbie. I just want to ask you, Conor tweeted that he believes that you're going to be back by the end of the year. As he obviously has retired and come back a few times. Is there any chance? I mean, it seems like going out on such a high, you might want that high again.
Why, does Conor want to fight?
Oh, I don't know. Would you come back for Conor?
I mean, that's a big fight, but no, I mean, I'm not really thinking about those things. I mean, I felt good today. That's the thing. Like if I felt good for 7 full weeks and like that type of thing, and the fight only went for so long, but you never know. But I feel good with everything I accomplished, and this is definitely a good way to go out.
He did say he thought you'd be back by the end of the year, and he thinks he'll fight in December. So I don't know. Maybe he's hinting at something.
He's just trying to get me gassed up, I'm sure, but. I'm not focused on any of that right now, just relaxing and trying to embrace this moment.
Thank you.
Robbie, this was your first round finish in 10 years. I know with these 5-round fights, you become very good at pacing yourself and, conserving your energy and picking your moments. Were you surprised at all to see him drop, and were you throwing,
extreme force into those punches, trying to get them out early? I felt really good in the back. My feet were moving like I wanted them to move, and it's been a while since that happened. And when my feet are moving that way, usually the hands follow pretty well. So I landed a decent shot coming in, a little uppercut that kind of grazed his chin, maybe a temple, and maybe rocked him. And then when he went to clinch, all those were hard, heavy shots, and it was just rough for him because there was just too many good shots in a row in the right spots, and that's why he was crumbled. But yeah, it was what it was.
And your retirement is legitimately the end of the era. You're the last fighter in the UFC who ever competed in Pride. And that chapter's all gone. I mean, what do you think that kind of means? And like, if you could send a message maybe to this next generation of fighters, they kind of say they aren't built like you anymore. Do you kind of feel that way?
Yeah, I mean, I've fought a lot of different styles of fighting. I mean, I've soccer kicks on the ground in Hawaii. It's definitely an end of an era, but I mean, this era coming up's really special. We're going to get to see the growth. It's going to explode, I believe. There's a lot of talent out there. There's a lot of exposure around the world, and I see this sport just becoming huge.
Hey, Robbie over here. Just want to clarify, because we do see this where fighters, retire from MMA. Bare knuckle fighting, anything like that, does that interest you at all or no?
No, I'm coaching and hanging
So retired
out.
from combat sports though, right? Is that kind of, because that can
I'm
be
just
kind of loose-ended,
retired. Yeah, I'm just retired, going to go back and work out. I'm always going to be working out. I'm always going to be in shape. I'm going to be dieting. That's just who I am and what I like to do and what I'm interested in. But I'm going to coach and give back to others and guys who want to compete at a high level. I'm going to try to help them do that.
And you're a pretty stoic guy in the cage, don't show a lot of emotion other than obviously when you get a knockout or a win or something, but you got a little emotional tonight. I know it was the last fight. Can you remember the last time you were like that in the cage? Like, it seemed like a really good moment that you got to enjoy and take in.
Yeah, because when you're trying to move forward and focus on like how to get better for the next one and those types of things, you don't really allow yourself to, or at least I never allowed myself to like totally enjoy a moment. So it was just like after the fight, it was just gratitude for that kid who came in here in 2000, started fighting and training, just having a crazy little attitude. I'm just really appreciate that kid who got here today.
Yeah, and just last one for me. How much easier is it on that decision to retire, just with the way things went tonight? Like, maybe you'd won a decision or maybe it didn't go your way. I mean, it couldn't have gone any better, I think, getting a first-round finish. So it must make that decision so much easier for you.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I made the decision before I had the fight, so it was just like definitely a nice way to go out. It was nice to get the support from the fans and the UFC and all the media and everyone at the UFC really treated me well, and I'm honored to be on this platform competing at a high level.
Robbie, back here.
This one right here. This one right here in the back. Robbie, I mean, obviously been a fighter for so long. We all remember, how young you were getting in here. Monday morning, you wake up, you're not going to have a fight or look forward to a fight for a while. Have you thought about what that's going to feel like for you? Just like, hey, now it's officially the rest of my life.
No, really haven't thought about it. It's the unknown for me. It's at first it was kind of scary, but now I'm just kind of like, whatever. What could be worse than going on a freaking fight, right? So like, I'm good.
Robbie, just down here. For the whole run up to this weekend, there was a lot of talk, obviously, about the retirement. The Hall of Fame as well. Was it hard for you to not be emotional in the run up to this fight, especially with the press conference? A lot of people had, some great things to say about you. Was it hard to keep that composure at all?
It was harder. I had an issue when someone asked a question one time, but usually I'm pretty good at like not allowing myself to take praise. It's weird. It's like it's easier to stay level-headed and focus on the task at hand. So I never really allowed myself to embrace praise my whole career, just because it's like you never know where you're gonna get. So if you don't accept praise, it's easier to stay focused and stay level-headed. So it's definitely it was hard for me to I wouldn't say hard. It was just different for me to embrace that because I've never done it before.
Did it kind of come out, when they were playing the highlights to you in the octagon? Did it come out there? Is that when it showed?
Yeah, and how the crowd was. The crowd definitely appreciated what I've done for this sport, and I felt it today, and I felt it all week, and that's really what it's all about. It's touching lives and touching individuals, and it's nice that all these fans giving back to me, and it's an honor.
And they showed some great highlights of your career. Is there one memory that sticks out for you?
Not really. It's kind of crazy to like go back and like what am I missing? But
Robert Whitaker just got stopped.
oh shit. Yeah, it's just hard for me to go back and just pick one moment because it's just been a long, storied career with lots of moments, lots of big moments, lots of ups and downs, and it was a grind, and I enjoyed all of it.
Thank you.
Robbie back here. As human beings, it's really hard for us to kind of take a moment and smell the roses. Do you feel like your career went really, really fast, or no, in that moment when you said you had gratitude, did it kind of just feel right?
Yeah, it felt right. It felt like all of a sudden just like, man, it's a lot. That's why I don't focus on it, because, I mean, it's 23 plus years of just grinding and trying to fight at the highest level and trying to stay focused on bettering myself and staying healthy and eating right and just sharpening my skills and figuring out a way to get the job done day in and day out. So it's just having gratitude for everything that I accomplished, the fans, how they're treating me, how the UFC's treating me, how the sport's treated me this whole time, and definitely appreciate all of it.
And my last one, you mentioned your coaching, that you're going to get into coaching as well. Obviously, Glover Teixeira, Uriah Faber have also done that. As soon as they kind of retired, they went right into it. Is that something you're really looking forward to being a part of now in the next chapter of your life?
Yeah, I've been doing that for a while. That's kind of what you do. Like when I first started fighting, everyone that I trained with, they were helping me as they were fighting. It was like, all right, how can we sharpen this kid's skills? So now I'll just take a little different role, just kind of definitely helping. But yeah, so many people help me, so why wouldn't I give back to these fighters who want to accomplish things? And I feel like that's what this sport's all about. That's how this sport's going to continue to grow, touching lives and helping individuals fulfill their dreams.
Robbie in the back, way back here. You've had members of your family with you this week. You've been in this sport for 20 years. What has it meant to you to have them support you and maybe sacrifice quite a bit as well to make sure that you got to where you needed to be?
Yeah, it's definitely is different, like to train and fight at a high level, because it's selfish. It's selfish. I'm focused on myself. I'm worried about what I'm eating, not what my wife's eating, not what my son's eating, like what I'm eating. So it's definitely very selfish, and it's hard, and it's huge to have people around you that sacrifice for you. And that's what I've had my whole career, so that I can focus on fulfilling my dreams and getting things accomplished. And without them, then none of this would be done.
Hey, Robbie. You have 3 Fight of the Years. You have one of the most iconic pictures in all of MMA. I guess how does that make you feel?
Yeah, it hasn't set in yet. I don't know if it ever will, because I just never really allowed myself to appreciate it as much. What I will appreciate is how the fans accept me and what I accomplished. Like, taking that in is huge for me, but I'm not sure if I'm ever going to be like, all right, oh man, patting myself on the back too heavy.
Of all of your time in this sport, training partners, opponents, who hit you the hardest?
Ooh, man, there's been a lot of guys on it. Jason Jackson's hit me hard. Drew McFedries has hit me hard. Jens Pulver's hit me hard with frickin' liver shots before. So, it's just, Pat can freaking kick and punch. So it's just lots of guys have hit me. So Tim Sylvia, I mean, when I first started fighting, it was like you trained with the heavyweights, you trained with the light heavyweights. It was like I thought maybe I was going to have to fight heavyweights when I started. So like it's just different.
And then finally, coming up through Team Miletich, and now you're with Killcliff, and you've been through so many gyms. Like, how, like, would you go back and like not train as crazy as you did? Because man, those early gyms were just so savage, and now it's the culture has changed a little bit. Would you change?
No, I wouldn't change anything. Because if you look at my career and those things, I did those things. I took time off from sparring. I took 2.5 years off from sparring. I did those. I adapted, and even though everyone else was doing it a certain way, I think for myself and always have, and I'm always going to be doing that and trying to figure out what's best for me.
Congratulations.
Robbie, one more over here. I get one of the legends of Robbie Lawler that's kind of come up this week. Drickus talked about at Media Day that you've never attempted a submission. Is that true?
No, I actually have one submission, but I've never attempted one in the UFC for sure. But I did get a submission in like a small show against like not UFC, not in any big organization.
For so many years, like you said, 20-some years, you've always been top physical form, always training, all that other kind of stuff. Now it's done. Are you going to reward yourself, give you like 6 months or so to get a proper dad bod on? Or is it...
No, I'm always grinding. I eat whatever I want. I mean, I go through phases. I like my treats, but I'm always going to be in shape, always pushing myself to... That's what I enjoy. I enjoy health, and I also enjoy food too. So, I mean, but everything in moderation.
Robbie, one of your old teammates, Jens Pulver, you mentioned him earlier. He's in town. Have you had a chance to talk to either Jens or any of the guys from Team Miletich about this next step in your life, retiring?
Yeah, I mean, I've talked to Jens a little bit. It was not nobody else, though. I talked to Jens, and he's excited. I think he wants to get into coaching and do those things, but he's got some kids he's taking care of, so that's a different phase for him. So it's just, yeah, I mean, I have a lot of good people around me who are helping me.
What was it like, this transition, and when did you know that you're gonna it's a facing your mortality and turning the page? When did you know that it's time to retire? When did you find that?
I don't know. It's just over time, you just kind of like realize like things just. I just want to do stuff at a high level and a certain level, and when you can't do it the way you want to do it, I don't like it. I don't like it.
One last one for me. Your old teammate, Tim Sylvia, he's doing some slap fighting. Do you see that in your future?
No, thank you. I'm good. I mean, I'll watch.